Welcome back to Adventures in Reach. Have you ever watched an epic sport adventure video and thought that it couldn't be you? In case you're new here, my name is Matt, and in this channel I helped you to get some air and gain an air of confidence and creativity in the outdoors. I want you to try something new, to create a new memory, and today will be an introduction to simple rappelling with simple gear. There's several other links to this video, to other ones describing the different components and knots, so it'll break down everything that you need to know. And if this video, if you find it inspiring, or if you go out and try this, please like it, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications if you want, and I certainly appreciate any support. This is a new channel, so thank you ahead of time. So before we get started, why should you trust me? So with the confidence piece, I have a degree in psychology and have been working in the mental health field for about 10 plus years. With the outdoor skills, I have 3.5 years of adventure education, coursework, about 6 years of search and rescue experience. I teach low angle for the last 3 years, and I have several classes and some certifications with both climbing and rope rescue. So I hope that helps you kind of feel like I can give you the information to be safe and be confident and know that you're in good hands here. So with this rappel, it's going to be a simple rappel with simple gear. And so I'll go through it here. You don't need much starting out, especially if you're doing smaller cliffs and you're just starting. You're not looking for necessarily the easiest thing to use, but a low entry point in terms of money, and it's still very, very safe. And I would say that always you want to start with the basics. Even experienced climbers are using these things when something goes wrong or when they just don't have the equipment necessary. So this is actually a much better place to start than buying a bunch of equipment and going from there. So first thing you need is cordage. This is 7mm cordage. It's rated cordage, so it has to be like from a climbing store or from a reputable brand, okay? And so in the climbing or rescue world. And so this is 7mm, it's rated at 3,600 pounds. So you look at what's the difference here. Well, this is junk. This is rated at, I think, 250 pounds. It's from the hardware store. This is climbing gear, so 3,600, 250. Okay, so this is junk, we get rid of that. So you need some cordage. We're going to use cordage today for this simple setup. Next, we're going to need a couple carabiners, like 2, maybe 3. Actually, yeah, I think we'll go with 3. So you can use, there are these non-lockers. I don't recommend them because if you don't know the right application for them, these can have some consequences that we don't want to ever experience. So please do not use lockers. Second, we have these D's, and these can come in these screw gates or auto lock, which I'll show in a sec. These are the strongest type because it keeps the load by the spine here away from the gate. And so yeah, these are definitely strong, and I'll show you, we're going to use one of these today in a certain application for the anchor here. Next is this is a pair, and this is great for the rappel on our harness, and I'll show you that as well. This is an auto lock, which means I have to twist and pull this open. When I let it go, it just automatically locks itself. I like these much better, especially if you're starting out, and even experienced folks, than the screw gate, because there's nothing to remember or forget, and they just do it themselves, and they can't really twist unlocked. So definitely the safest option. Okay, third, we need a rated rope. So again, this is I think it's a 10.5mm, and so this thing is rated to 7,600 pounds. Okay, again, this is not department store hardware store rope. This is rated climbing rope, and this particular rope is dynamic, so it stretches more than static. For the way we're setting it up, you can use either as long as it's rated. Static may actually be a little bit cheaper because you can buy it by the foot, and if you're only going down a 20-foot cliff, you don't need to buy a whole spool of a 60-meter rope. So But either way. Next we have the harness. So I'm going to use this today, but I'm going to show you another way to use a harness. So harnesses, intro levels are kind of like 35 bucks for really basic. You have to use the buckle and all. You know, this is a little more easy to use, but you know, and this is like the $70 range. Also, don't forget a helmet. You don't have to have a climbing helmet, but a bike helmet or a snowboarding helmet or something, you know, again, you're getting started, you want to make sure that you don't get any rocks that fall onto your head. Just put some sort of helmet on your head. Gloves are also a must. You want some leather gloves, or at least leather palms, because when that rope is going through your hands, you don't want to burn yourself or make it where you feel like you need to let go. Obviously not a good scenario. So that's all the equipment we need. So now we're going to start the setup. We want to look for good anchors. In this case, we want to get some nice trees, and we can hit them, we can look up at them, make sure they're nice and green and healthy, and we can look for, you know, some rock. Are they able to get roots down? Are they trampled? Are they hollow sounding? You know, does it look like a healthy tree? And we're going to use 2 of them today. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to teach you the way that would be both easiest, meaning, you know, less equipment, and is going to be very safe without having a whole lot of information. And so part of this, I'm going to use figure 8 follow-throughs, and there's going to be a link here to that video. But these figure 8 follow-throughs are great because even if you don't know how to get them set and dressed, which I'll again address in those other videos, I'm going to get this, you know, lined up the way I want to go for my rappel, and then I'm going to kind of pinch it off here. I'm going to make a bite, and I'm going to tie another figure 8 right here like so. We kind of tidy that up a little bit. Okay, and then this is where we're going to clip the rope in. Okay, so now I've got my anchor set up here. This is less than a 90-degree angle. Again, I'll show you that in another video, why that's important. It's pointing in the direction I want to go. Got the carabiner there. I'm going to take this rope and I'm going to tie another figure 8 at the top. Okay, so this is going to be a figure 8 on a bite. Check the links. Going to clip that in here and tighten that gate on the carabiner and make sure I check it. Okay, I'm going to look at everything, satisfied with my knots. Before I throw this rope down, I'm going to find the end here somewhere, and I'm going to tie another figure 8 at the end, leaving a little bit of a tail there. So this just prevents you, in case your rope is not long enough, it prevents you from rappelling off of your rope. This saved my life once, and so I'll never forget it. The other thing we're going to do is clip in. Okay, so we're going to use a Munter hitch to rappel. I'm going to go ahead and tie it off just for a sec here. So I'm tied in now. I'm going to throw the rope, and just common courtesy, make sure nobody gets hit with it, we just yell, rope! I'm going to put a prusik. Okay, a prusik, again, check the description, check the links. Okay, and I'm going to clip this onto my harness. There's a little saying with these screw lock Veners, screw down so you don't screw up. Okay, so this is going to be down the slope, so I screwed down there. Okay, so this prusik is going to be a little backup where if I were to fall and let go, then this would catch and hold me, so that, again, if I bump something, fall off, I've still got a backup. So we want to make sure that anywhere that things can fail, that we have that backup. Ready to go down. Rappelling is a great way to add adventure. You can try off a small ledge, off a steep hill, or even just off your porch. And knowing you can has also its own important value. I really like to teach this prusik initially because it takes out the risk factor of, you know, if you just suddenly let go, you are now caught by this prusik and you don't have to worry about messing up. All right, so the whole idea though is that you are just using the prusik as a backup, and all of your control is done with your dominant hand, okay? And so I'm very slowly going down, and this is a great beginner way. It's gonna feel crazy just being on the edge. When you go over, you wanna make sure that you're kind of perpendicular to the rock. You wanna have your feet well planted on there. It's going to give you more stability. Also keep your feet spread out a little bit. It's kind of awkward, but if you need more friction, you can bring this up, and it does give you more stopping power. There'll be a link as well to the other videos for how to have a double munter or a super munter. So thanks for joining me, and I hope that was fun for you. I hope you try it out. And again, my recommendation is start somewhere very short or small, or even just a steep hill. If you're uncomfortable with the idea of this, then feel free to try to find a local climbing gym and see if you can get some instruction from them. Most of them will do that. So for some basic climbing and rappelling techniques. Also, just have a friend come with, watch the video, make sure that you're not forgetting anything. And again, just please try it on a steep first. If you would, I'd love to hear your comments about your first time trying rappelling, and what you think about this video and if you're going to try it out. So thanks again, and I hope to see you next time.